Hey guys, your friendly neighbor Gamerman here. Welcome to the channel. And what I'm showing you today is how I have my Nintendo Switch connected to OTG mode in the 4KP at Games Legends Addams Family virtual pinball table. And I'm also going to show you how I have a media player connected to the back glass to be able to upload different videos and back glass images to work with the table. So this is a simpler way to do it for those, and a less expensive way for those of you who don't know how to work with a PC. And for those of you, I would recommend this basically if you already have a Switch with FX, FX3, and if you already have a bunch of games. I think it's really not worth doing if you're trying to start from scratch or you don't own a Switch. It wouldn't really make much sense. But for example, like Wild West Rampage over here, this game comes for free with FX and FX3, and I also have Fishtails, which was just sold on this table, which came with this for free. So if you don't want to double dip, you'll just have it there for free. And you know, a lot of the games, you know, they're a little bit different. And you have like practice modes on the Switch, on FX, FX3, different kinds of game modes. So if you have it already, it's a very simple mod to do. And you can see right here, I have these buttons working. So I did have to disable a few of these buttons, but these are buttons that aren't used too much on the Infinite table. Like the nudge buttons are my left and right triggers. And I think this was I forgot what button this even was. I know it's like your favorites button and it does something else, but I just disabled it. And now it's my launcher. You can see that. There we go, launch. I'm gonna give you some different angles so you can see me playing. I know you can't see the top of the table right now. I apologize for that. I'll change the angle shortly.
Oh, second chance.
But I want you guys to also see I set up this extra button, and I apologize if any of this repeats. I filmed this video in within about a month and a half, 2 months, because I just kept getting busy, and I wanted to get it out to you guys. A few of you asked me for this, and I apologize. I just got too busy, so it's kind of a bunch of clips all over the place. So if I'm repeating myself, you guys can just skip it. But I basically just added this button. I know it's just hanging around as a test. Now FX, FX3, and even some of the pinball arcade games, they all use a different button for nudge. There's a few choices, but it kind of works out where I couldn't use the same switch where I plug this in, the same input for all those applications. So basically, I'm going to show you guys right now. I was just introduced, I didn't know this existed, a button with 3 presses on it, a round button, and it has 3 inputs on it. So I was thinking I can attach that instead, and I can map it separately for each application. And then basically, I'll drill a little hole, I connect it here, and just smack it anytime I want to nudge the table. It'll knock all 3, but only one of them will affect whatever table it is.
It takes practice.
So if you guys don't use nudge, you don't have to drill any other buttons. But if you do, I found this 3-in-1 button, which I never knew existed, and it's awesome for this application because you can do left, right, and middle nudge, or set up another function with just one hole in the cabinet. So pretty cool thing. I might use it. So I do want to show you guys real quick here. Under the table, I have a memory stick here, and it's connected to a media player, and I'll put the link in the description. And then my HDMI cable just running underneath into the back box, and it comes with a remote control. And I basically put on the videos and, you know, whatever JPEGs I wanted, and I can change it to match each table, or I can just have it scroll through. So pretty simple way to get something going in the back class with a Nintendo Switch. I wanted to give you guys a little gameplay footage here, and I did some more at the end with a little back glass demo, but obviously feel free to fast forward past this if you're not interested, and we'll get to more of the instructions.
Let's go! Oh, what the hell? Come on. Come on, you got this.
This is below expectations.
I'm a Mandalorian. Weapons are part of my religion. Don't move.
Fully operational. Technician assigned. Sign off.
Sorry. Spilled my coffee. All systems go. We're on standby.
Shoot with the correct strength. All saved. All out.
Hit the fire button to fire the cannon. Fire the
So the physics are definitely off on these tables, but I would say half of them are really enjoyable, even with that happening.
Just tell me one thing, Brooke. You're going out there to destroy them, right? Not to study, not to bring back, but to wipe them out.
That's the plan. You have my word on it.
All right, I'm in.
So what I like to do is I like to do like a pilot hole, and then I like to move up in bit size when I do this until I get to the Dremel. And I like to do that with buttons because it's harder to make a mistake when you're going a little at a time. Sometimes I use one of those full circle bits. If I'm doing something with like a plexi, I'll use that entire circle bit It's much easier, it goes right through, won't crack. Once in a while I use it for wood. Right now I think this is the best bet, and I think it'll make less mess because there's a lot of electronics inside. So let's get to it. So I set up my little pilot hole here. It's gonna go over the F a little bit, but I really think it's the best place because there's a lot of open space over here. Start slow, because I want to keep the mess out here, not inside as much as possible. I drew a battery also sucks, but yeah, it went through pretty quick. Let me double check. Man, I think it's like a perfect spot. It's just high enough where there's an inch on top. I could have put it lower, but then it would start getting a little too low to smack. So I think that'll be good. So let me go to the larger bit. Oops. And yeah, I don't know if I mentioned that already or if I said this already, but if you guys are not doing the nudge, you don't even have to do this. It's moving faster than I thought. I guess that tells you this isn't wood. Yeah, it might be time for Dremel. Let's see if I have enough power, or if I'll have to get a new battery. A little messy, but it's going to be covered by the button. Yep, it's working. Slowly but surely. So when you do this, you also want to get in there with one of the smaller bits, because you see it'll drill kind of like a cone. So unless you're going from the other side, it'll be hard to make it even. So I'll get in there with the smaller one and even it out. All right, the hole is complete, and I left it pretty tight so I can just screw it in. Now, let's get this back into the other side and we'll turn everything on and test it. Also, real quick, I wanted to point out that this was a great space because there's a lot of available space back here to put a large button like this, but you would have to hold it like this or come over and slap it this way while you're playing if you want to activate the nudge. So it's okay because for me, because I use it usually just to try to save the ball when it's about to go out, but I noticed afterwards that right here there's a really nice perfect space for one more of these standard size buttons, and most people would like, I think, just to play like this and smack it together. So I might even add that for myself and use this button for Pinball Arcade, because Pinball Arcade is strange. Every few games use a different control on the Switch to launch. Like some of them are A, some of them are right stick, and then there's one that's even something else. So I'm thinking to program that here and then just put a button, not concave though, maybe flat, so a little easier to smack, and just put it right over here. I know there's a lot going on over here now, but it's okay for me. Well, so this box, SJ at JX, they make lots of different encoders. So this one, I'll put a link, was I think a $30 or $20-something set. And it comes with this encoder that you can use for, it's basically made for a Switch, I think, or a PC, and maybe PlayStation, I believe. And it'll come with a plug for the encoder, all the wiring that you need, and it came with these analog sticks. I didn't use these. I actually used an old set of encoders that I had. I had a set that came with two. I guess it was going to be one for each joystick. I was going to do a mod to one of my arcades for a Nintendo Switch, and I decided not to do that. So this is something new I just purchased, so I could show you guys. And maybe they have a different set, but as long as you have an encoder for the Switch, you can do that mod with the pinball mod. So yeah, if anybody wants to experiment, just connect these. No big deal. Set it up to one of the buttons, and then you have an analog just like on the Joy-Cons, and you can probably use this for the analog plunger. I just set it up with a button. The only thing is you'll have to find kind of a smart way to stick it onto the 4K, but I guess you'd probably have to cut a hole and put it underneath, something that made sense. You don't want to just stick this on and make it look all nasty, but you can also still just use the Joy-Con for the same thing, so I don't know if there's a point to this. But this is cool if you do like a Switch mod, because then you could still have the analog and put it right on your control deck, so if anybody wants to do that. These cables that it comes with will probably not be long enough for what we're trying to do. They won't reach all the buttons there. These are very short cables. I believe you can try, but yeah, they look short. What I did with my last one is I just spliced each one. So I had other cables, and it looks like you have way more, so you can actually cut some of these up. I think all we need is like 4, and there's, look, 1,000 in here. So cut them. If you guys haven't spliced before, I mean, nothing to be scared of, super easy. I just want to say, yeah, I'm no expert. I just experiment a lot, so that's what you'll be doing. And I think you'll probably void your warranty if you open it up and start messing with it. It's very simple what we're doing. We're just basically removing a couple of wires from the buttons. So it's more of a mod for the people who actually swapped out the buttons. You know, a lot of people have been doing that with the leaf buttons. And that's actually harder to do, because I messed with it for a second, and I tried to unscrew one of those buttons, and I think you actually need that tool. I forget what it's called, because a wrench wouldn't even fit in that small section. So that's a bigger mod. All you're doing is unplugging two or three of your buttons and plugging the new ones in, so no big deal. But it might still void the warranty if you rip something, but it shouldn't be a big deal if you rip one wire anyway. Yeah, so basically these are probably going to be too small. You have a million of them here though, so you can basically cut into one, cut another one off, you know, get what is it called? What the splice? Yeah, so you splice this, expose the wire, tie the two wires together, and I just use black electrical tape to stick them together, or they'll sell these little pieces on Amazon. Actually, I don't know what they're called, but if you want it nice and neat, you just clip them together, and it'll be, you know, a nice neat finish. And that's basically it. Let's move to the next section, and I'll show you how I did everything. All right, so basically all I did so far was kind of take the cabinet apart. I guess unscrew the sides and the top control panel, and that's a pretty easy part. The instructions are there. You can watch installing SSF kit video, and that'll all be there. It's just basically unscrewing some things and unplugging, you know, this thing, nothing much. I took the glass off, and now I'm going to pick up the monitor so I could run the cable to the back. I was going to use my own buttons, but now I'm thinking maybe I can just reuse these for now. All you'd have to do is pull these out. They're the same size, but I'm not sure my buttons are better than these. So I'm going to think about that right now. So I ran this USB extender. I think it's a 10-foot a 12-foot extender right underneath the monitor and through the door in the back, the one that comes with the key. And now I will plug it in to my encoder. So here it is, guys. I just removed these two buttons from the nudge. I mean these two cables from the nudge. Plugged in my cables from the encoder. You see everything is working. All right, let's test it out. I'm just gonna leave some of the back glass scrolling for you guys so you can check out some of the different ones that I was able to find. You see right here? Looks pretty damn good. Maybe I'll change these to like the black and purple ones, or maybe a green one. And then maybe try to light that one up again. But yeah, let's test it. Hope you guys can see I like to keep the light off because then you can see the table a little better. Oh yeah, and by the way, I know you see that reflection right there. It's not so bad when you're actually standing in front of it, but probably I could probably use the that privacy glass thing. I think it was in the $100-something price range. So I didn't really want to get it until I really felt I needed it. But now maybe when I play with TG, I do. So here's another pretty cool back glass. Animated back glass in one of my favorite games. So let's test this one. Let's test the nudge. I kind of want to test it when I need it, but I needed it there probably. All right, we'll test it right now. I have to get used to it being in that position too. It's in a pretty good spot. Just gotta smack that side. There it is. Yay, I tilted. All right, I'll do it one more time to test it. It's not in a bad spot, you just gotta get used to it. There's some games where it makes more sense than, you know, it's doing now. See that? It works better in some games than others. I'm gonna try to catch this ball. And then, let's see. Yeah, it didn't work on this one to do a bounce or a jump. Some games it does work.
So this was the first time I tried to make my own little back glass video, and I was just able to use a QuickTime player and screen record some shots of the movie I found on YouTube. And I didn't know how large of a file it could handle and how long it could go. So I made the clips like a good 3 minutes each, which was kind of long for that. But they worked out really well. I made 3 different clips and really easy.
You're no match for my friend. Helpless! Hopeless!
absolutely safe in the desert. We're closed.
Very wrong. I'm never wrong. Heading dead into the farm.